On the Healthline Nevis News and Reviews Roundup, brought to you courtesy of the Health Promotion Unit in association with Evelyn's Drugstore. Hello and welcome to a special edition of On the Healthline News, Reviews and Updates. I'm your host, Sheila James. In this special edition of Updates, the On the Healthline News team ventured out to meet with supermarket managers, businesses and members of the general public to check in on what they understand about the latest government protocol drive campaign with the introduction of social distancing in light of COVID-19. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hello, my name is Mamalu, and I have a very important message for you. Be safe, protect yourself and others, and remember to disinfect surfaces at home and at work.
Come back. The island's need for preparedness activities in light of COVID-19 were well underway in Nevis when news broke in March 2020 from the WHO that the world at large was facing a pandemic of COVID-19. News from across the world and across the pond were also echoing the harrowing news ever in the history of our time. Facing uncharted waters, the federal government issued its strategic plans under the guidance of WHO and PAHO in the protection and safety and reduction of the spread of COVID-19 to our shores. It was only a matter of time that we too would be inclusive of this pandemic. During the production of this programme, we have 15 confirmed cases in St Kitts and Nevis, 0 number of deaths in St Kitts and Nevis, 334 persons were tested, 15 persons tested positive results, 318 tested negative results, 1 pending result, 2 persons quarantined at home, 52 persons quarantined in a facility, 1 person in isolation, 760 persons released from quarantine, 14 persons recovered. This information was taken from the St Kitts and Nevis COVID-19 Situation Report number 46 as of Tuesday, the 12th of May 2020 at 3 p.m. We meet up with our essential and non-essential persons who shared their experiences on the management of social distancing in the public domain. So we're outside First Caribbean Bank and we've run into Mr. Parry, Honourable Parry, and we just want to ask him a couple of questions about social distancing. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How is the lockdown treating you?
Oh, well, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, you know. There's a lot of mental pressure. But I understand the need for it, you know. Maybe not all of it, but certainly in terms of social distancing and the curfew, I understand that.
So in your line of work, obviously you've had to introduce social distancing within the store. Have you found people have been complying, or have you had any difficulties?
We do have our difficulties, but we find that most people comply, and where they lapse, we remind them, and they're quite willing to, conform with what is required of them, because they realize that it's for the betterment of our country.
And of course you are providing a service with the pharmacy, so has things increased in terms of persons coming in for medication, or, because people have been panicking? And ideally what we would like you to tell people is that they don't need to panic, that you do have enough medication in your store to assist persons if they need it in their time.
Yes, I don't think people really need to panic and stock up with like 3 months, 4 months worth of items, because most of the items we still have in stock, and we're expecting more supplies, so it should be good.
Okay, well, thank you for taking time out with us.
Okay, you're welcome.
So the purpose of today is to find out from our customers on how they're accepting the new way of living by social distancing, and we're at Horsford's Value Mart, and I've managed to capture Keith Scarborough, who's going to have a chat with us about his thoughts and feelings and what he would offer to the general public in terms of continuing this new way of life.
Well, it's very important to continue this way of life under this present situation. Of course, we are all aware of the COVID-19 and what it has done to the entire world, and it is very important to practice distance socializing and to get accustomed to this way of living, because I believe this will go on for a very long time, based on what the experts are saying we could be in it for a few more months at least. And so it is important that we start practicing it now, not only for ourselves, but of course for the entire nation. Because you see, once we practice that, the nation will be safer. And I believe that is why we have only managed to have 15 cases thus far. And once we adhere to the information or the rules that is given out by the medical persons, we'll be okay. So I think it's a very good thing to adhere to. And I think Nevisians and Kittitians in a whole should practice what the medical experts are saying to us. It's only for our benefit, and I am certain I will be okay once we do that.
Okay. Thank you for your sound advice, Mr. Scarborough. Have a great day. So the social distancing restrictions were put in place a couple of weeks ago, and as you are the manager of a very busy supermarket, have you been able to implement those restrictions comfortably? And if not, what have some of the challenges been for you?
First of all, let me start by saying thank you for coming. Yes, we've had some challenges in the initial stages, and now that the people are getting used to it, it's getting much easier. But there are still some people who don't abide by what is said, so we have to every now and then go and approach them. Like there might be some people who don't wear their mask, so you have to go and let them know that this is a must, and without the mask, right now we are not letting any people enter our premises. But they do come with a mask, and inside when they come, they would just take it off. So we have to go and approach them every time and again that look, this is not right, and we have to educate our staff and let them know that if you see something like this happen, we cannot be there at all the times. So we have to let our staff also take some role in this. So we have to let them know that if you see anybody without a mask, go and approach them and let them know that they have to put on their mask, sanitize, and even our staff, they have to make sure that every now and then they go and wash their hands and take all the precaution as we can.
Fantastic.
So that's
the next question for me is with regards to food supplies, because as you know, all around the world, people have been going frantic, shopping like there's no tomorrow, afraid that there's going to be no food stocks. Can you assure the people in Nevis that there is enough adequate food on the shelf to suffice during this lockdown period?
Yes, at this present moment, we have no problems. All the ports are open, so we have enough supplies of food. Like you can see around, all my shelves are full. In the beginning, again, like I said, it happened all overnight. So yes, there were some hiccups to make sure that, because everybody was coming and there were only 2 open days. Yeah. So there was only so much we could have done. Now that there are more open days, so it is much relaxed now. And like I said, our containers are coming on a weekly basis. You can see, look around, we are full of food. So at this present moment, we have no problem whereas food is concerned.
And thank you very much for taking your time to be interviewed by us, and we congratulate you on the way things are operating in Rams. We've had a look around and we're very happy with how things are happening. So thank you and continue the great work.
I would encourage all the shoppers and everybody to stay safe, keep safe distance, take care of themselves and their loved ones. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we continue on our travels and investigations to find out how the COVID is treating businesses, small, large, banks, etc. doing. And we're here this morning with Jamila at Bodies. Jamila is the manager here at Bodies. She's going to talk to us a little bit about the introduction of social distancing and if they've encountered any issues since it was implemented in March. Hi Jamila, I hope you are. I'm okay. So just tell me a little bit about the social distancing. You understand what it means, and are your customers compliant to the rules?
I think we are part of a society that understands that this is a larger fight. So we haven't had much issues with customers trying to barge in without masks and refusing the sanitizer and whatnot. But we have enforced the 6 feet distance, social distancing. We've also implemented some of that they do to sanitize the customers. We have sanitization at both stations so they can still self-sanitize. We also sanitize commonly touched areas like the ketchup bottles, the mayonnaise bottles and whatnot, and the door handles and the different commonly touched areas. We are also changing our utensils more frequently because we are touching those. Well, the staff always are wash their hands frequently, but they're doing that more often and still.
Okay. So all in all, I know today's a very quiet day. Obviously, it's the day after the bank holiday. But do you think, since the introduction of COVID onto the island, have the numbers decreased or the customers decreased?
It has decreased, however, I realize there's an increase in deliveries deliveries are not good. Deliveries has increased, however, the foot traffic and business on the has increased somewhat.
Okay. So in effect, it's still good for bodies, it's still running the business, it's still in operation.
In a sense, we're able to stay afloat, yes.
And that's great news because we know lots of businesses are probably struggling right now. I think Nevis is quite unique in that we're still able to run some businesses quite well, and people have been really creative in running operations in terms of deliveries, like you suggested yourself. And I think this might be the new thing that comes after the pandemic.
So I do think this might end up being the next law. And you put the extended curfew from 7 p.m. so that we open this a little bit later. Right. From the 5 o'clock. But it has affected all of us, not just us, but the staff as well. It has, we haven't laid off anyone, thankfully.
That's
but we
great
have
news.
had to cut back hours and locate shifts and what's that.
Understandably. In part 2, we meet with Honourable Cleon Stapleton. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hi everyone, my name is Naila Daniel and I have a very important message for you. Be safe, protect yourself and others, and practice social distancing.
Come back. We recently met with Honourable Cleon Stapleton at her place of work. She spoke to On the Healthline about the government's implementation of social distancing. We now join Honourable Cleon Stapleton for this report. So, Honourable, what tips and advices would you give to persons listening to this programme today?
Thank you. Pleasant good afternoon. I am Honourable Cleon Stapleton Simmons, Parliamentary Representative for Nevis 5. I just want to take this opportunity to encourage everyone to adhere to the precautionary measures issued by the Promotional Health Unit as it relates to this COVID-19 pandemic. As we know, we are facing very difficult times, but we have to try our best to ensure that we adhere to the precautionary measures just to keep ourselves and our families safe. So one of the things I would like to encourage persons to do is to ensure that they practice social distancing. And that is very important. And I'll just take a brief moment to perhaps explain what is social distancing. And that is basically ensuring that you have at least a 6 feet distance between you and any other person during any type of gathering or conversing. It's very important because COVID-19, as the experts have alluded, it is spread through your saliva or through your saliva getting onto the other person or getting into their face. So in order to combat that, I sincerely encourage one and all to wear facial masks, and that is one means of protecting yourself from allowing your saliva to go onto other persons, as well as preventing other persons' saliva to come into contact with your face. I also want to encourage people to not to gather as much as possible, not to congregate, to ensure that they maintain distance. Even if they are sitting with a partner, you ensure that you have at least a 6 feet distance. I take this opportunity also to encourage persons to pay specific attention to hygiene. Ensure that you wash your hands. If you're unable to do so, please sanitize your hands. There are other measures that you could take, including wiping your hands with wipes if you can't. I sometimes use a napkin that is done with bleach water, and you can use that as also a precautionary measure. I take this opportunity to also encourage people to pay attention to their nutrition. I also know that this is a period of extreme, what I would call stress and anxiety, we all are going through this together. This is a worldwide pandemic. So I want to let everybody know that no person is alone. We all are having the same experiences. So it is very important that we take the opportunity to encourage each other. I know during the period of curfew, so we are unable to visit persons, but that does not stop us from communicating. You can pick up the telephone. We have so many social media outlets, WhatsApp, Facebook, Zoom, so many ways that you can keep in contact with people.
That's fantastic. And thank you for your wise words, advice and comfort to so many people out there who are experiencing COVID-19. We know the whole world's on gridlock. And I just want to say a special thank you for taking time out of your time to share with everybody here in Nevis. Before we conclude this special edition on the Healthline, team would like to thank all our participants who made this production possible under the protocol of social distancing. Remember, only we can reduce the numbers of COVID-19. Please continue all protocols in place, regular hand washing and especially social distancing. Until the next time, remain safe and thank you for watching. Goodbye. On the Healthline Nevis News and Reviews Roundup, brought to you courtesy of the Health Promotion Unit in association with Evelyn's Drugstore.